Hello all. Ever wondered how an idea becomes a product people love? So it's not just about building. It's the full journey from idea to impact. So this is called product development life cycle, which we are going to discuss today's session. So let's start. I have prepared one PPT for you all for your better understanding. Let me share that. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. And as I mentioned, our topic is turning concepts into products, that is PDLC or Product Development Lifecycle. So today in this session, we will cover introduction to product development lifecycle, that is what it is, and different stages of PDLC, that is very important. Third one is we will discuss each stages from a real time example so that you can relate it better. And we will also discuss what is our key learnings and takeaways from this complete session. So to start with, what is PDLC? That I already mentioned a little bit. To elaborate that, I will like to mention that uh, it all begins with some brainstorming ideas and shaping them into the real concept. So to idea to impact or from moving to your idea to the final product, the phases it navigate through, like design phase, testing phase, launching phase, maintenance phase. All phases are the part of the product development life cycle. And here in the throughout the stages, as a product manager or product owner, we listen, we learn, and we iterate based on our previous learnings. So that is how, like, great products, we can say that keep getting better. And that's the beauty of the complete the product life cycle journey. So at the end, on this introduction, I would like to mention that it's all about turning your tiny spark that the idea came to your mind, turning that into something which is truly valuable for the customer. This whole journey is your product development life cycle. So as I mentioned, it goes through, navigate through various stages. So we will discuss each stage with a real-time example. Okay, so today, like, I will walk you through this each stage of the development life cycle, using the example of a first cry. I have taken that example. I thought to take one example which the app which we mostly are aware about, so that you can relate it in a better way. So let's start. So first is the stage one. Stage one is nothing that the idea generation. Okay. So in this stage, like, we uh, try to understand that what problems our customers are facing. That's where the phase start. That's where we brainstorm the customer problem, and which led to a ideas. We validate them, we develop them, we test them, and we launch it at last. Like, here the tools that we use mostly to understand that what my customer is facing, the issues, the areas where my customers need the improvement or some solution, how we do that. The tools we use here is like market gap analysis. We kind of do some feedback analysis, feedback survey. All this we do to understand what our customer what the issue they are actually facing. So if I for this instance, if I take example of Fast Cry app, so what they did in this area, like they realized that before launching the app, what they realized that there is a segment or an opportunity in Indian market for the young parents who are kind of lacked to go to the platform for baby product. That need is still unmet for most of the young parents, mostly in the Indian market. So that is the finding first guide. First have in their mind that this is the area where there is a scope for the improvement. So this was like the first stage, we can say, that is nothing but the idea generation. Now, what is the next stage? Now you have the idea, you understood where is the gap, where the customer is facing the problem. Next is idea screening and the concept development. We have an idea now, right? So is it worth building? Because there it is not like I have some idea and I go and I will build it. There is various factor involved, like to understand if my understanding of the customer need is correct or not, where there will be some money involved, right? Investment involved in launching or whatever the idea you have to launch, that there will be some huge investment. So is it worth building? To understand that is nothing but the stage 2 of your PDLC. Okay, so here what we do like kind of a SWOT analysis, like what is the strength, opportunities in the market, what is the weakness, like what are the challenges, what are the threat we can face to build this idea. So all these analysis we do competitor benchmarking, like we try to understand that whether there is anything already there in the market. Okay, so we do all this kind of analysis in this phase. So if I would like to take the example or context of from the book called the Lean Product Playbook, where the author reminded us that not to fall in love with our ideas, but fall in love with solving the right problem for the right user. So that is what we do in this stage. In the after we have some idea, we do the idea screening. So that is our stage 2. Now the third part is we call it as a product design and prototyping. So once we validate our idea whether it is worth building or not, if the answer is yes, then we move to the stage 3, that is called product design and prototyping. We do wireframing, like we start sketching a high level design based on our ideas, which we have that focus on mainly the making the thing easy, user friendly, faster to navigate for the user. So we try to build a high level sketch of what we are trying to build based on our ideation. So the key here is to think about the real need of your audience. So here, who is my audience? If I take the example of a first cry, is the parents, right? So, and the parents who are really busy, maybe they are not reach out to the local shop or physical shops often. So those are the market segment, those are the customers which are mainly the target audience for this kind of app like first cry, like, because this saves the time and makes their experience smoother, right? So what we do, or what fast cry did in this stage, is like, based on my understanding after my research, that they have done some high level simple design first in the first launch, where their main focus was easy navigation and easy handling of the application. So after you did that, like the product designing and prototyping, the next is development and testing. Now you have the design and you are now going to develop it and testing. So in this stage, we focus on developing a website or and a mobile app as well, where there will be maybe a secure payment system, a responsive but user friendly UI, because the our end goal is to give a smooth experience to our customer. So here a beta launch sometimes helps us to gather the early feedback, because why we require our early feedback, because here instead of build everything at once, we can build something, and we can build the and we can test it, we can launch it to the market, and we can see that whether the customer is actually loving it or not, whether they are going to use our application or not. So it is very important to test our design early and continuously, so that I don't, or my company don't need to waste time building the feature that are kind of overwhelming for the customer, and it's not that look good for the customer, not useful, like I will say. So regular testing with the real-time users early and often helps us to validate our idea, to fine-tune my design, to make sure that it works as intended. It is helpful for my customer. So for if again I will take the example of First Cry. So what they did, based on my understanding, is that they build a scalable backend for the product listing, and they integrated it with the logistics, like the APIs, to ensure the reliable order fulfillment and shipment tracking. So first their focus was on the product listing, okay, in their initial days. So that's how we proceed actually in a product development life cycle. Now the next, once you've done the development, we kind of done the testing with some segment of the customer. You now sure that yeah, your customer is going to love this product. Now it is a time for the stage 5, the fifth stage, that is the actual product launch. Okay, so what we do in this stage, in the fifth stage, is like, we go with a strong go to market strategy, because we are actually launching the product. And maybe here our for the app First Cry, the go to market will be the new parents, the young parents. Okay, so the working parents. So here what we can do, we can focus on the channels, like how we will reach out. My app will reach out to the customer segment that are intended to use this, how they will use. So what they can do, they can use in their application ad on some kind of parenting blogs. They can do a hospital tie-up, because I have seen in my like in real time that First Cry, for example, they partnered with the hospital, and to provide the gift hampers to the new moms. So it is kind of like turning a thoughtful gesture into a powerful acquisition tool. So if you are giving a gift hamper to the 5 new parents, maybe 2 or 3 of them can be your real customer in the future. So this is one thing we can do after our product launch, or while we are launching the product, because this go to market strategy is very important in this fifth stage, that is the product launch stage. Okay, and these are kind of early touch point I can see, where like you can provide the samples, app sign up offer. Also few application I have seen that they provide to create a personal connection and quickly convert like the new parents to their loyal future customer. So after launch, like in this stage, we do, the companies do all these activities to have their a strong customer base. Now, after the launch, the last stage is we call this as a post-launch evaluation and maintenance. Here what we do is like, now we have launched it, maybe my customer loved my product, but as I mentioned that we need to continuously fine tune it, right? So the in the sixth stage is like we can refine our features more, we can fresh our product categories, and we can grow our vendor network to stay ahead of the time and be updated. So how we can do that, we can, how we will understand that where are the areas where we can scope of improvement. So there are few KPIs that has been tracked in the stage 6, that is the post launch stage. I call it as the keep the momentum going stage. So in this stage what we can do, we can track the KPIs like customer acquisition cost, okay, and then repeat purchase rate, then what is your app ratings. So all this area will give you a clear picture that what are the feature you can fine tune, what are the feature you can bring in your upcoming launches. Okay, so if I can remember, like for First Cry, what they did after their launch when it was successful, parents were loving it. So what they did, they launched a loyalty program, and they also, after first it was only the online shop, but after that they launched it offline also. We all know that now we have all the mostly the metro cities, we can see that the First Cry stores are there. Also, I have seen that they have started one separate segment of parenting tips, how we can to grow our from very newborn stage to the growing stage of the baby, the food related tips, the health related tips, and also the how new mom can take care of themselves, the that also I have seen that they have there in their segment, they have launched afterwards. So all these are nothing but like keep your product up to date in the market, so that after launch you keep on improving your app. So this is like all the stages of PDLC, and this is very 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 important for a product manager and product owner to understand, because whatever you will be launching, whether you are launching a new product, whether there is already a launch product, but you need to improve it further, this understanding will help you. Okay, so why PDLC matters that much? Like if you can see that in my session, second session, I am covering it because this is very very important topic to understand in very basic, and it's very basic also for the product managers and product owner, because as you can see that the product development life cycle helped First Cry from idea to launch in a structure and phased manner. Maybe you have 1,000 ideas, but if you are not aware of what are the stage you need to navigate to make your idea to actual product, if you are not aware of it, if you don't know the right path to navigate it, so it will only remain an idea for you, and the customer or the market or no one will maybe ever know that there was a brilliant idea, only that you didn't know how to implement it. It was not impact, or it was not helpful. So PDLC, understanding PDLC is very very important. What it if you follow this properly, what will happen, that it will minimize the risk of product market mismatch, because we are doing the early testing, taking the feedback, continuously fine tuning our product. So it is helping you through the PDLC, it is helping you to early validation with the real customer. That is very much important, because I am doing it for my, to solving the problem of my customer, right? So by aligning closely with your real-time customer. Like here for the first cry, it is the young parents, right? Build a solution for the customer they truly need it. If you are not touch with the parents, new parents, how will you understand that what is the problem they are facing, what the problem they need the solution, right? So in PDLC, it helps you in very early stages. Okay. And it, I have seen also that it, if you follow this, it will help you to avoid the unnecessary features, and it will help you to focus only those which will have a market value, which your customer will truly love. So it is also indirectly helping you to reducing the waste in the development. And this approach, I have seen that enabled us to quickly and sustainably across both online and offline channel, right? So that is all are the benefits of PDLC if you follow it properly. So now you understood what PDLC is. What is our final thoughts on PDLC? I will pause for maybe 10 seconds, and I will like you to think what you feel. What is your final takeaway? Okay, so I will request you to pause here and think yourself before you listen what I have mentioned as a final takeaway, and see that whether it is aligning with your thoughts or not. Okay, so for me, like with all this journey, the final takeaway is, if I take the example of first cry that I have elaborated here, that PDLC is nothing but a journey, a successful product journey, whether it is successful or not, but it will give you the realization if your idea is goes through the validation stage. Yeah, then I can say that okay, you can reach to the idea to the product, or else you can think differently and you will solve that problem. So yeah, so it is kind of a journey, and it is about solving the real problems for the customer. So as I have emphasized in my last, that is the first session of product management, if you remember that I have emphasized about the product mindset. So here also I will reiterate that in PDLC also we focused on outcomes. We don't not just the output. So if you want to create a real outcome, you have to go through your idea through the PDLC cycle. So I have seen that a truly product driven approach, if I can say, is as I mentioned, that solving the right problem, delivering the value continuously, and learning at every stage. That is very important. What we learn based on that, our product better version is or the impact is dependent on what I have or we have learned through this journey. So here I will also at last want to add that you might have come across the terms I have mentioned here frequently, like market gap analysis, go-to-market strategy, customer acquisition, beta launch, SWOT analysis. So, and it is completely natural to have questions about like how and where these techniques are applied. So don't worry, in our product management series, in our future session, we will be diving deeper into each of these topics in upcoming session, as I mentioned, to help you understand that in real world how we apply all this step by step. So if you find this content helpful, and if you want such contents more in future, it will be helpful. Please like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.